Hi everyone and welcome to this week's video. I hope you're all safe and well as always. This week I'm back in the conservatory to talk to you a little bit about what to plant in April. I've also got my ever-growing seed collection to show you as well. It is midweek this week. I'm doing some midweek filming and it is just starting to get dark. So I'm going to crack on and tell you all about it. So thanks for joining me as always, guys. It's always a pleasure to have you over on my channel, and for my new subscribers, thanks so much for coming over here and joining me too. Hopefully you'll learn a few things, maybe, and hopefully you guys can help me along the way as well. But today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about what you can sow in April. Now, there's plenty of things that can be sown in April. I know we all get super keen on sowing things early. I know I'm guilty of it 100% of the time, and I just want to get something in the ground. But honestly, there is absolutely no rush, and there's still plenty of time at the moment to get things sown up at your allotment or in your garden. I just wanted to show you a few of the things here as well that are growing really well. It's only been a couple of weeks since I last showed you, but things seem to be really flying along. So I just wanted to share a few of those bits with you as well. So things that you can plant in April, which I haven't even thought about planting yet, vary. So there are things like beans and peas, with the exception of my dried peas, which are growing really well now. I haven't planted any beans or any peas yet. I am growing the Cobra variety, which are a climbing French bean this year. I'll also be growing some, I think they're Enorma runner beans this year. And then going on to my peas, I've gone for some Petit Pois varieties, which you'll have seen back in my planning video, as well as just some normal peas called Little Marvel. So there's plenty for me to be doing in the pea and bean department. Even that's a mouthful. So yeah, loads and loads to do. So I got some marrow fat peas from my supermarket, the dried ones. So they come in a box and they are just dried peas. They come like that. What I did was soak them in water for 24 hours and they got really plump and really fat. And then all I did was put them in plant pots and left them to grow. It's funny because a lot of people don't like marrow fat peas. They are one of the big pet peeves, and I was made to eat them as a child and I just don't like them. However, it's the total opposite for me. I absolutely love them, and I really enjoyed eating them when I was a kid. So I'm giving them a go to grow myself. So this is the tray that I have grown so far. They are coming along really nicely. So hopefully they will give me some peas in the not too distant future. Fingers crossed. My brassicas here are also doing really well. So if you haven't planted out your brassicas yet, there is still plenty of time. And when I say that, my brassicas are not very big. I've seen a lot of people that have already put their brassicas out. If you can hear that scratching, it's my cat desperate to get in. There's plenty of time. My brassicas definitely aren't big. And they always seem to do okay. I'm trying just not to do too much too soon this year, which does tend to be, like I say, my downfall. So I'm trying to do a bit better and not plant too much too soon. These are some of my ranunculus corms that I planted as well a few weeks ago. They were soaked overnight. They are flying along too, so that's really cool. As most of you know, my first early potatoes are now in. That was on last week's video, but my main crops haven't gone in yet. Again, still plenty of time. We'll probably do those towards the end of the month. The weather's been shocking here, I'm not gonna lie. We had the snow and everything sort of Easter time. Today has actually been the first day where it's been quite sunny, but still not warm. It's still freezing. And every morning this week we have got up and there's still been a frost. So it's just, to me, it's just not worth putting anything out yet. It's happy here, it can sit here, it can wait here for a couple more weeks. The mess does start to annoy me, I'm not gonna lie. I just feel a bit overwhelmed by it towards the end when everything's growing. I mean, there's bits you can't see that are off camera, there's stuff behind me. The conservatory is absolutely chocker, but it will all be worth it in the end. And there's no point me taking it out to plant it for it all then to die or get caught in the frost. It's just a waste of time, so I'm not going to do it. So back to more things that you can sow in April. I really went off on a tangent then, didn't I? But more things you can sow in April. So towards the end of the month, I will also consider planting out my sweet corn. That's one thing that I really tend not to do very early. They are slow growers for me at the best of times, so I like to wait until they've got a really, really good chance. Similarly with things from the squash family, including courgettes. So none of those, the seeds have been sown. I haven't even found the packets out yet. It's going to be a good couple of weeks. So that'll be my pumpkins, my courgettes, and all the varieties of squash that I'm growing this year, which is a fair few. I think I'm doing 4 or 5 varieties this year. So yeah, but none of those have been planted yet. None of those have gone in yet. That is all in the plan for April. So there'll be those to do as well. And then sowing things direct into the ground. So things like carrots, beetroot, chard, and all those sort of things that I just do drills up at the allotment and just plant them out basically straight outside. I don't grow them from seedlings, so they'll all need to go out as well. I also need to put out my onions. They're doing really, really well, but again, they're still here. I haven't rushed, they're not outside, they are still here at home, but I know they can go out soon. I'm just taking my time, really. I just don't want to lose anything for the sake of waiting a couple of weeks. I am on Facebook and Instagram, and the amount of people that, you know, have lost tomatoes and aubergines, and even when they've been in polytunnels, just because the weather has changed so quickly. And it's just so sad, because I am aware, as probably you all are too, the amount of work and time and cost that goes into growing these plants, and you do become quite attached to them. You know, me and one of my friends at work was saying that it's almost like having babies. You know, you have to come out and water them and make sure they're all right, and you sort of get protective over your plants. And you know, to see people that have lost hundreds and hundreds in their polytunnels or even heated greenhouses just because the weather was so cold. And you know, things like tomatoes just don't tolerate that very well, so it's such a shame. It really is sad. But yeah, I just feel like I've been warbling on. I feel like that in the last few videos. I just feel like I've been warbling away. I am definitely going to be doing that Q&A video soon that we talked about. So if you do have any questions for me about the allotment or my garden or anything to do with fruit and veg, then you can leave it in the comments. You can message me on Instagram or Facebook and just leave them in the comments below. That's probably going to be in a few weeks' time, so no major rush. It will probably be after I have got everything planted out, and I'm just doing the patient bit then, waiting for it all to grow and tending to it all lovingly in the summer months, which will be great. I'm so looking forward to the warmer weather now. I think we had a little bit of a teaser one weekend just before Easter, and the weather was just gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And I thought, that's it, spring's here, let's go. And it's just not now. I mean, it's great that it's lighter in the evenings, and you know, you can put an extra layer on and you can still go up to the allotment and do a bit of digging or weeding. And it's just, you get the time now. It's at the point where I've been at work all day, I've got home at 5:30, and yet I'm still here talking to you guys after I've eaten my tea. So yeah, it's really, really a good feeling when you can do that and yeah, really make the most of every hour that we've got. I'm also going to be doing a bit of construction work on the allotment soon. We are determined to get a cold frame in, though at this rate it's going to be too late to do it this year, but we have been given some slabs by an allotment neighbour that was getting rid of some, and so we've got that as to use as the base. We're not going to put it directly onto the grass. So we've got those. The fruit cage as well needs some repair work in the last storms. That has come a little bit loose. It is sort of dug into the ground as well as being lashed onto posts, but the string that we used wasn't particularly strong, so the during the windy weather the string has actually broken, which is now makes my fruit cages like this, not like this anymore. So that needs fixing too. So that's another job. My strawberry fences are still here. I still haven't been up there and put them up. So that's another job to do. Like I say, it's a good job we've had time where we haven't been able to see our families, because this is where we'd normally have people round and we'd have drinks and food. And this year, well, it's just carnage, to be honest. There's absolutely no way it would have happened. So yeah, really, really looking forward to getting up to the allotment in the warm weather and getting things planted. Even if it means I have to store them in the polytunnel for a little while, at least I'll get my space back. But no, it's all good. I still haven't, and I will. I haven't planted out my sunflowers yet, all 300 of them. I think that's probably going to be a weekend job this weekend. I haven't checked the weather forecast yet, which is very bad of me. But 300 sunflowers is going to take me a fair while. So I might sort of put Sunday afternoon aside to do that. We are definitely morning allotmenteers, so we will be up bright and early. We'll head up there in the morning and then we come back here for lunch and do a bit of pottering in the afternoon. So Sunday afternoon will probably be my opportunity to sit out here and get those sunflowers planted up. So we've talked about potatoes, we've talked about your sweet corn, we've talked about the squash family, we've talked about onions, we've talked about peas, and we've talked about beans. If you've not put in any of your brassicas yet, you can always direct sow those for now. Just make sure you thin them out as they grow, so you give them the adequate space for them to get to a nice size. But I think, apart from flowers, which I may have to address in a different video, that's pretty much it for what I'm going to be sowing in April. Let me know what you're going to be sowing in April, because I'll probably finish filming and go, oh, I forgot about that. But please let me know how you are getting on. How's the weather where you are? Because it's just annoying me a bit. Like, I don't know, like I'm desperate to get out and it's every opportunity. Or you get an hour and then it chucks it down. Or you get up and you look out the window and it's super frosty and you just think, oh, come on, give us a break now. It's time for the spring weather to be here and just a bit of warmth. Warm the ground up, warm the soil up and just get things going. But that might just be me. I do get too keen and too eager and I can't, there's a fly. And I just can't seem to help myself. I can't wait. I want to get up there. So, yes. So let me know what else you're planting in April. And I'll go, oh yeah, I forgot about that. I'm planting that as well. We did pick our first lot of rhubarb last weekend. We also gave some to our family. So we've all gone home, we've all had rhubarb. We had a delicious rhubarb crumble with custard, one of my favourites. Oh, I just love rhubarb season. As soon as rhubarb season starts, that's it. It's just mad. But we have got 8 crowns up at the allotment now. We took 8 on from an allotment neighbour. Someone was giving up their plot and asked if anyone wanted any crowns. We took 8. All 8 survived. All 8 have now been in the ground for 2 years and the rhubarb is just awesome. So yeah, plenty of rhubarb crumbles coming this year for sure. But yeah, that is pretty much it. So like I said, let me know what you plan on growing in April and you can tell me what I've missed, like I've already said. or if you're growing anything weird and wonderful this year. I always like to hear stuff about that too, like me and my peppermint chard. I'll be sowing that directly as well very, very soon. So I'm very excited about that. Always love weird and wonderfuls. I like to try and plant a few weird and wonderfuls every year, but like I say, if you haven't seen my planning video, pop back and you'll be able to see all the weird and wonderful things, as well as the plan of my whole plot on where everything's going, and then that will start to hopefully make a little bit more sense. I did go and look at my gladioli bulbs the other day. I did say to you all that I thought I had loads. Turns out there's 150 bulbs. So yes, I'm not sure I factored in enough room for 150, but there will be 150 bulbs on the plot. I'm going to make it work with my sunflowers and my sweet peas and everything else. I am going to do it. Oh, I just remembered asparagus. I will also be sowing that this month as well. I probably should have already done that, so I'm a little bit behind with that. But they are asparagus crowns. I'm probably going to film that because I've never grown asparagus before. So it's going to be a learning curve for me too. Probably another opportunity for you all to laugh at me because, you know, I do make a bit of a muddle of things at times. And if it's something I haven't grown before, then chances are I'll get myself into a bit of a muddle. But for now, that's pretty much all I've got to chat to you about. I hope you'll join me again next week. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. If you did, please give me a like, and you can always subscribe to my channel for further content. As always, it's lovely to have you over here, and all of your comments are absolutely appreciated. But keep safe, everybody. Look after each other, and I will see you all very, very soon. Bye.